The Heckling Hare is a 1941 Warner Brothers cartoon directed by Tex Avery, with a story by Michael Maltese, and we have Mel Blanc as Bugs Bunny and Tex Avery voicing Willoughby the dog. Kent Rogers is also voiced, or credited as voicing Willoughby. If anybody knows how that was weighted, please feel free to let me know. This is an interesting enough cartoon that I quite liked, but I didn't like the ending. Normally I don't discuss the endings with these because I don't like giving any kind of spoilers, but maybe towards the end of this I will discuss why the ending didn't really work for me, but I will give a spoiler warning in due course. Willoughby the dog is tracking Bugs Bunny, and Bugs, being the clever little bunny rabbit that he is, does everything he can to torment Willoughby, put him off of his scent, and, sometimes let him follow him into the rabbit holes, but things don't always go to plan for Willoughby. And I liked it. It's a pretty classic setup of an animal tracking Bugs Bunny, and Bugs Bunny being very clever and doing everything he can to try and outsmart the creature. And Willoughby is definitely a likable creature. Sometimes the character tracking down Bugs isn't that likable because I'm rooting for Bugs, but actually Willoughby, if Willoughby was my dog, I think he'd be very sweet and lovable. Visually, I really like him. He has kind of quite spindly, gangly legs, and a very beautiful mouth. And I really like the way he is animated. I think he looks absolutely brilliant. I'm not exactly sure what he is. I think he's a bloodhound, but if anybody knows exactly what breed he is, please feel free to confirm. Either way, I really enjoyed it. Really nice scenery. The backgrounds were very soft and delicate. We have some beautiful trees and nature scenes. Gorgeous color palette. Willoughby is quite a bit bigger than Bugs. So there is this sense that he could overpower Bugs, but he is kind of a, do I want to use the word goof? It's not a word I usually use, but actually I think that word suits Willoughby quite well. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the execution of the narrative. It was very well animated, very fun to watch, and generally just a pretty decent Bugs Bunny cartoon. Now the ending, I will discuss the ending from now very briefly. So if you haven't seen it and you want to, I recommend you watch it and then come back and share your views, particularly about the ending. At the end, when they're falling, I thought, okay, this is kind of dramatic. It looks like maybe Bugs Bunny's about to meet his maker. How could he possibly get out of this? And then we have one of my favourite bits of animation, something that Warner Brothers does quite a lot and I really like, and that's where they stop themselves in air. And they use the air to push against to slow themselves down, and that I liked. That worked well. But then they kind of broke the fourth wall, which again is something I enjoy. And if it was just Bugs Bunny doing that, I'd be completely on board with it. But because they kind of brought Willoughby into that as well and made us view Willoughby, I guess, as a dog acting a role, and he's not actually an antagonist to Bugs. I don't know. There was just something about it that just didn't necessarily work well for me. It wasn't a terrible ending, but it's not how I wanted it to end. So, I don't know. And it's rare that I have very strong feelings about the ending of a Warner Brothers cartoon, so it was just something that stood out to me as being something I wanted to mention. But generally, Heckling Hare, a lot of fun, and one that I would recommend.